Let's talk about practical things we can do to actually improve our Italian. If you clicked on this video, you probably want to start learning Italian, or you are already doing it. As beginners, our goal is always to learn and improve and do as much as possible. But the journey from an A1 level to a C2 level requires time and energies, of course. If you're not familiar with this is the CEFR, Common European Framework of Reference for Languages. Remember, this is a significant journey and it's not easy peasy, but you can definitely improve. There is the theoretical aspect in which everyone talks about consistency, being repetitive, and doing as much work as possible. And this is all true. But let's talk about practical things we can do to actually improve our Italian. And number one will probably be understand your why. And this is something a lot of people ignore when they want to learn a language. What is the reason for which you are starting to actually practice and studying that language? Do you want to travel to that country? Do you want to find a better job, for example? Do you want to visit a member of your family, or do you want to impress somebody who knows that language? Maybe you love the literature of that country. The reason doesn't really matter. What's important is that you find and understand what that reason is. That's a core element that will guide you through the process. Then you can start with full immersion. And I know it's not easy, especially for beginners, but you can try little by little. You can start with songs. There are so many popular and famous Italian songs you can listen to. And the same goes for TV shows, videos, content in general. And you can also look at our content here if you want, because we're going to post so much of it. On social media, you can find so many creators and so many shorts, reels, videos, lessons, everything you need. You can also change your phone and your computer languages and switch to Italian. And at first, I know it won't be easy. I did the same for another language, and it's so interesting because you can have a look at so many different terms. You can listen to different resources, you can listen, you can speak, you can write. What is important is that you're constantly surrounded by the language. And then moving on to number 3, start reading. And I know reading is not as easy as it seems. But with reading, each time it will be easier and more accessible, and you're going to master this skill. Again, it can be a short description under a blog or a post. It can be a story, part of a novel, maybe even poetry. Try to find something suitable for your level. On the internet, you can find so many resources and try to read. And if you're a bit more advanced with time, you can also have a look at magazines, newspapers, and actual Italian books, novels, and content. Then, of course, in your language learning journey, you must learn new vocabulary constantly. New words that will unlock this superpower of speaking and understanding. And of course, you can start small, you can start with basic vocabulary, and when time goes on, you can always improve and add more to it. A very useful tip is also to include flashcards. So write the term, and on the back side of the flashcard, add the meaning and try to learn by heart. Another useful thing to do is to create examples with these words. So don't stop on the single word. Try to practice and create real sentences and examples that can be also true for you. For example, if you learn the word sorella, sister, don't just stop here. Practice making sentences with these words. Io non ho una sorella. I don't have a sister. And this little exercise of creating sentences will improve your fluency so much, and it will help you memorize the vocabulary even more. Create as many situations as possible in which you can speak the language. You can start to practice Italian on your own. Yes, you can speak on your own. It's not a crime. You can absolutely do it. Speak in your free moments, even when you're by yourself, and try to practice what you learn. Then you can also find another person who is a student or wants to just improve their Italian skills. Or you can also find a native speaker and try to practice the language with these people. Don't be afraid of making mistakes because they are absolutely part of the process. Another useful tip to improve the speaking element and the pronunciation element in your language process is to also shadow what you listen to and what you watch. The shadowing technique is very useful, for example, if you watch an Italian native speaker or a very fluent person in Italian, and then stop the video, stop the listening, and repeat, trying to sound just like that person. And if you do this enough times, you can actually see some improvements with time. Then you can, of course, take a course, attend a class, and this will definitely boost your Italian. You don't have to, but this will definitely help you because you can be guided by a teacher, or you can also have materials which are selected and fine-tuned to what you exactly need. And of course, also to your level. In addition to this, you can try different materials. Change what you use because sometimes you can get bored and maybe even frustrated because something is repetitive or maybe too easy or too difficult. So try to switch what you use all the time. Start also writing because with writing there is so much clarity also in your mind. You don't have to write essays or articles. You can, for example, write a journal, so your thoughts, what you think. And this is a very helpful exercise to also come up with new vocabulary. You think about what you want to write, you try to put it down, and if there are gaps, you can use a dictionary and learn new vocabulary with this. If you don't like writing a journal, you can also write a comment under a post. For example, you can write a comment here. So here below, you can write about your journey with Italian, and I can't wait to read all your comments. Remember, a language journey is definitely not a piece of cake, but it doesn't have to be painful. It can be a pleasant moment of your day in which you learn and develop different skills. Can't wait to read your comments, and I can't wait to see you soon. Ciao!